Welcome to the next episode of Good Stories. In this episode, I had a conversation with Hetvi Savla about happiness, depression, what makes people unhappy, and the impact of social media on the youth. Hi Hetvi, welcome to this podcast. Could you introduce yourself?
I'm right now pursuing Bachelor of Arts, and hopefully, in the third year I'll get psychology, because you don't choose psychology; psychology chooses you. And what else do I do? Yeah, I'm in NSS right now. I like to do a lot of social thing. So and as far as my hobbies go, I read a lot, I dance a lot, and I do not miss a single day of Navratri. Whatsoever happens, if it's boards or anything, that is the only thing that keeps me going. And unfortunately, it's not going to happen this year. So
Hopefully,
I'm
we
nervous
can
about that.
have online Garba, and I'm sure it is going to happen. So let's pray for it. Sure. So diving into the questions, the first question that I want to ask you is, what is your definition of happiness?
Happiness is anything and everything that you like to do. If you follow that, that's how you get happy in life. I feel anything you shouldn't have any sort of regrets. And the moment you start having regrets and what if I did this, what if I did that, then you sort of lag behind. And then you do not match up the own ideal self that you have, standards that you have kept for yourself. So for in order for us to be happy, I feel we should set goals, that are realistic first of all. It doesn't have to be that अरे I can't become a pilot, not that sort of कि ये तो अगर लोग बोल रहे तो नहीं होगा. Realistic for yourself, analyze yourself and make goals, and once make small steps. Don't I feel you shouldn't think of too far. Right now, as of my goal is to get into psychology in third year, and that is my goal. So that is small realistic goals, and once I achieve that, after that I can think about masters. So those are my goals, and that's how I do it. And right now, even this podcast, I wasn't so sure about this, as can I do it, will I fumble a lot, since I have stage fear. I can't speak on stage or anything of that sort. I start fumbling a lot, I start shaking a lot, and people have seen that. But I try to keep pushing myself, and that's how I think I achieve something. And the moment I achieve something, it makes me happy. So achievements lead to happiness for me. Any sort of achievement, it could be personal behavior, or as of goals also.
Okay,
Today,
great.
my achievement may be just waking up and brushing my teeth and getting ready. Small achievement, but it still made me happy.
Okay. Nice. Awesome. So, to give a number, to give a specific number to the goals that you set, will you set it for 1 year, 3 year, or 5 year? Like, if any of our listener wants to set goals, how long should he set? Should he set for 1 year, 2 year, or like how long?
I think it depends on person to person. So if a person is more of a who thinks quite ahead of their time and not does not take one day at a time, you can set goals for 5 years as well. It's not a problem, but it depends. Say, I am a person who likes to do 1 year or 3 year goals. 3 year as in bachelor's. Okay, see, I started bachelor's. So
Right.
after that, okay, now another milestone would be getting the bachelor's degree. Then another milestone would be master's, and then it would be job or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So those are my goals, and I think everyone should have goals related to what their dream is. So if your dream is huge, if you want to start a company or something that sort, those require long plans. Think quite in the future and how things will happen. You can't take one day at a time in that. So it really
Right.
depends on what your goal is, and you
Awesome.
can choose the stream you like that way.
Great. Okay. So the next question that I have is, so I know that you changed your stream from science to arts, and I know it was not a easy task for you. So the first thing is, how did you do that? did you deal with depression during that time, and how to deal with depression basically?
Um, yeah, I can't really say that it was depression or any sort of thing because I didn't visit a therapist or anything like that, and I don't know. It surely does put a lot of pressure on you since arts is considered to be the elite thing that you one can achieve and one can get into, and it's the most uh, tiring sort of a line, and you really have to study a lot. That is what people have the perspective of science as. But according to me, science is all about why things happen, and arts, whereas for me, is it has changed me a lot personally. Science was something I was pursuing for a goal or some how do I say it? I'll say a career, more career oriented. But the moment I shift to arts, it became a lot more about myself, not about things I want to achieve. And in science, I can say that I was a more person who used to, take it long term, think about long term, or 5 years, 10 years goals. Since that is how it goes. MBBS is for 5 years, and then you decide. So that is a stream which has, longer connecting to the question earlier. That is how I did. But arts is not as such. You take 3 years, and it comes with time. But that's which was really difficult because a lot of people expected a lot from you
Okay.
the moment you say you're in science. Not only your parents, outside, those long lost relatives, they expect a lot of you. And even if you say that I don't care about it, somewhere it does get affected on you. Because it's not easy, going out and telling them, oh, I'm not going to continue this anymore, although you are getting good grades. That is something they can't understand. It's not like I can't do it, I don't want to do it, and that's the difference they don't really understand. It takes a lot of time to explain them that why am I doing such a thing. But and when I decided to switch from science to art, the first person I spoke to was actually your mother. I came to Hemanti because she has always been that woman in my life that whenever I'm having huge problems, the first, and I don't talk to people of my age because they are as stuck as I am. So I believe that I should always go talk to some elder. So maybe brothers, sisters who are elder than you and who've been through the same phase, or an aunt or teacher that you really have confidence to believe in, and you know that whatever they say is right from the heart. So that is why, without even telling my parents, I first went and spoke to your mom. She had actually taught me in 8th, 9th, and 10th. For other people who don't know, so she has been that important part of my life. So when I spoke to her, she said, "See, if that's what makes you happy, if that is what something you need right now in your life, and you really can't take this further, it's okay. It's okay to switch." And I said this, after 1.5 year in science. I said it then because I knew that science is not cheap. It's very expensive, right? So I could get fun and all. So that is the reason I said it, because even the timing matters. For a long time, I was quiet about it. First year went really smoothly in science, and I was doing pretty good in academics also. But then it just wasn't happy. It was the same routine, and the same routine. I believe that I'm not that kind of a person who can continue the same routine. So it also comes down to what sort of a human being you are, what sort of lifestyle do you like. And this is a piece of advice that my college professor gave me. He said, don't just take a line as of now that makes you happy. Take a line that will give you a good lifestyle as well, the lifestyle you would like. So right now, if I'm in arts, the lifestyle I would like is day to day. I can get holidays in that. Whereas in science, I wouldn't get nothing of that sort. So it really depends on what you want. And the moment you decide what you want, then you can choose the path you would like. And depression, the thing you said about depression, is definitely not easy. I kept a lot to myself at first. I won't say depression, but a lot of my sadness and my frustration and everything, I kept a lot to myself. Then there was a breaking point because you can't, bottle up inside it. Then there was a breaking point, and then I spoke to my best friend, which is Hirali. I called her up and I said, this is what I'm going through, and I don't know what to do about this. Help me out. And she's the only person, who can calm me down when I'm angry. And my anger, let me just tell you, my anger is the worst thing. I can't control it myself. I need someone else to calm me down. And I called her up. I said, see, this is what I'm going through. I don't know what to do. And she said, you know what, relax as of now. Don't think about it for a while. Talk to me when you have calmed down, and what you think. So that was the first point I said it to someone. So automatically it felt as if something was, lifted off from my chest. It wasn't as heavy, and that's all. And she didn't judge me. Whereas if you tell this to your parents, it might not work out that well until and unless they are too open minded about it.
Mm-hmm.
It and I tried talking to my parents about it first, and it didn't really work out. So I spoke to my best friend. She understood me. And what most of the people in India believe is it's just a phase. And I don't think it's just a phase. A phase cannot go long, for 2 years. It went for 2 years, and it can't happen. It's not normal for someone to be so sad about something. And 2 years is a pretty long time, and anything like that, even if I say it's going about 5 6 months, or it is not normal, and you should talk to someone else, and you shouldn't keep it to yourself. So that was the first point. I spoke to a little difficult. Okay, I spoke to Hirali about it. Then I came into, so she was the only one who knew about this. Then I came into arts. I made pretty good friends. And you have to be 100% sure of whom you are telling it and how they will accept things. So then I spoke to two or three of my friends, and they understood, and they helped me through it. I had an outburst in my class as well, and I spoke to one of my professors also, and he also knows about it. So he helped me through it. And the more people I told, and the more people who were there to support me, it really changed me. It made me a much more light, and I no longer would say that I'm depressed or I'm sad or anything like that. I no longer would say that because these people helped me through it. So first, you need to tell someone whom you are 100% sure that they will stand by you, and then you can go and explain your family about it, and then try and explain them, because it's a new concept for them. You can't expect them to know all these things. You have to tell them in bits and pieces, and you have to try and make them understand. So you need to be 100. You need to first tell it to someone, and then come to terms with that they don't know about these things, and it's not that they don't want to understand. It's just a difficult concept for them, and just like school does it to you, you have to explain it to them, and there's no way around it.
Okay. So just to
So yeah,
summarize to all the listeners, if you have a difficult time, you can go out and talk to someone who understands it, whom you are comfortable with, and trust me that things do get normal. It might take some time, but yeah, it's normal, and getting such feelings is quite normal in today's day and age. So moving on to the third question, why are people turning more
I'll just correct you. I wouldn't say that it's normal in this day and age. I feel it was always there, just people are starting to talk more about it these days.
Oh, okay.
So I would say, put it that way. It was always there, but these parents never understood that this was what was happening to them. And now, since we are a much more awake generation, we know what is happening, and that is why we speak a lot on important topics, and that is why we are having so much of change within 2 years and 3 years. So it was always there. That's all.
Oh, okay, great. So moving on to the next question, why are people turning more unhappier these days? Like,
I think these days people have a tendency to just speak. As
okay,
I said, we are more awake generation, but also comes with a con sort of. Uh,
right.
we only speak about us and ourselves, and we've stopped listening to what others are going through. We've stopped understanding what a person might go through. It's that cancel nature that is going on social media. I don't really understand that as well. It doesn't resonate. You can't just cancel people left, right, center. It is not how it should be. You should try and understand people, and you should listen more. The more you listen, the more you understand a person. So it will become less about you and more about others. And when you do that, you kind of create a balance. So it's not, you can have sad days and all, but if you're too unhappy about, oh my god, my life sucks, yeah, what to do? Yeah, I wake up in the morning, I have to go to college, I have to do that. But look around, there are 2000 people doing the same thing. You can't be sulking about such things. Maybe your college is 5 minutes far, but others are coming from, catching the train in the morning, then coming. It takes 1 hour for them to come to college and gain the knowledge that you are gaining. So it's more about looking around.
Mm-hmm.
As self-awareness is important, but the immediate environment that you are in, that is also as important.
Right. So I think we all set some reference point in our daily lives. We basically look up to influencers and we say that their lives are so awesome. They usually travel. They have all this
Yes,
expensive things, and
but
that
I
makes us.
yes,
So that basically makes us unhappy.
I think
Yeah.
that makes us okay. Another good thing that you brought this up. Uh,
Mhm.
what other things that makes us happy is unrealistic goals, unrealistic things around us. Like you said, social media. When
Right.
you're looking at social media,
Mhm.
it's not about who they are and what they post. And look at my social media. This is nothing what I look like on my social media. And it's scary to post a picture without filter. But I'm getting into these things now. Trying to post a picture about yourself without a filter. Try it sometimes, and it's scary. But the moment you do it, you will feel so good and empowered by it because you no longer care uh, or about those unrealistic expectations that people have. And as well as the influencers part go,
Mhm.
follow those people who show their real selves as well, who support mental health, who support, all these body expectations and, are against body shaming. Go and follow such people. And when their post or their feed is too perfect, it's just too good to be true, then
Mhm.
understand that it's not the reality. And then you need to do a little more research about who the person is. Sometimes Facebook history can tell you what sort of a person he or she was before that. When you're following someone, it's not about who they are in present also. You should also understand where they come from.
Mhm.
There is this, I don't know the influencer name, but she had, gone through a lot of sexual harassment in her childhood and everything. And it was difficult for her to open up. But the moment she did, it was also liberating. The
Mhm.
moment you do it, it's all liberated. And the people you follow, you really have to. It's not, you can't say, Are, you can't post such things. You have to be, what a idiotic person you are to post filtered pictures. You can't point that person. You can't pinpoint and blame people. The other blame goes to yourself also for following them and not researching about who they are
Mhm.
and what they support. So you only have to follow those people and go behind those people whose ideas and ideologies match to yours. You should be on same level with the person you are following, and then and only then these influencers can really influence you. Otherwise, it's of no point.
Great. Okay. This was a good impact. Like this, the idea behind you speaking about whom you should follow and whom you should not follow is something great. And if you are listening this, you can tune in to your followers, to your people who are you are following, and you can see the type of people you are following. Are they achieving something in life? Are they motivational? Do they inspire you? Or are they only like show offing their things? So if you tend to follow right people, I'm sure you will be inspired. You will be motivated to hustle and to reach there. And this is what I think everyone should do. So the next question related to this was, who are three people who have the most influence on you and why?
Okay. My mother, my
Mhm.
sister, and I think my best friend. These people can really move me, maybe in a positive way, maybe in a negative way. When I say things that are important to you, again comes to a psychology thing. When they say it's immediate nature around you,
Right.
you shape in a form where you live. you know,
Mhm.
you say na these rowdies and these chapris and all, but that is where they come from. That is what you need to understand. That is their immediate circle and immediate people whom they stay with. And I stay with my mother, my sister, and these people can have a real effect on me. So if they are not happy, I'm not happy. If they ask me to do some things that I don't really want to, but then they explain the idea behind of it. So it really changes. The company matters a lot. It does matter a lot. So if you're in college, it's okay if you take a lot of time to find the right people and the people with the same values and morals as you. It will take a lot of time. See, as for me, first year, it's I had a group of maybe 10 people and all, but by the end of the year, only 3 or 4 people stuck by me, and that is how things are going to be. You really have to cut down. I don't mean to say cut down in the sense that don't be nice to them or anything, but the immediate circle, you have to select and choose people with whom you look up to. Otherwise there is I'd say it won't bring you up anywhere. You can only stay with people who have mutual goals as you and who push each other up rather than bringing each other
Mhm.
down. So
I
my
agree to you
mom,
on this one. Because
right,
I feel the people, you are basically an average of 5 people you surround yourself with, and if you surround the right kind of people, they are definitely sure to bring you up and help you achieve your goals. Okay,
right.
great. So
These
moving
are
on to
the
the
only
last,
people.
sorry.
Sorry, I was saying, and these are the people who helped me through my
Mhm.
depression. So
Okay.
it
Or
really does.
basically, let's say hard times. So
Yes,
you cannot define. So I'm not sure,
depression.
but
I
yeah,
can't really say
we
I'm
cannot
depressed,
define
but
what it is.
I
Yeah,
had thing or
when you are
where I
not
was
feeling good,
really sad.
basically.
Yes, yes, yes.
Great. So moving on to the last question, if you could step into my shoes, what would you have asked yourself that I didn't,
Oh,
and answer that as well.
mm, don't know. Um, okay. Shit, um, okay. Maybe about there's this theory called cognitive dissonance theory.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically how we change little things here and there, the truth here and there to match social expectations. It is something that we are not thinking of, and it comes as you don't really do it on purpose, but it just happens. So when you have two contradictory ideas in your mind, maybe that this is good, this is bad, but then you try to justify it to yourself and you don't even realize that you're doing it. Maybe that was a very interesting theory according to me, and I recently learned about it since I'm doing some courses. So this is not what college teaches you, but you have to go outside and do some extra courses, and there you will get this knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I would say.
Oh, okay, great.
I can give you an example for that. Me
Yeah.
leaving science and coming to arts.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, at first, I know what the real reason is, but to explain people, we say, "अरे, I didn't want this lifestyle. देखो मालूम है ना कितना difficult है. लोग को ते कितना पढ़ते हैं." But aren't these things? I knew all of these things before getting into science. I knew all of this, but now I'm sort of justifying the reason I left science because others don't get it, and this comes off very naturally and you won't even realize it that it is happening to you. So when you're doing all of I'm not explaining a theory here, but after all these theories, you need to understand that somewhere this can happen to you, and when you know these theories, you become more aware and you don't do it on purpose, now. So now if I'm saying such things, I connect it to cognitive dissonance, and then I hold back myself and I say this is not what I'm going to say, and I change my sentences. So
Okay.
after all, psychology is an applied knowledge. What you learn, you need to apply it, otherwise there's no point in learning psychology.
Okay. Awesome. Great. So to end with this podcast, I have famous 5 questions. I will say you a word and you have to basically answer them within a sentence or basically 2 3 words. Okay, so let's go with it. The first word is fear. Fear.
Fear is scary. Scary.
Hard work.
Everyone should do it.
Motivation.
Comes from within.
Online lectures.
Too boring. Yeah, too boring. I can't.
And mental health.
It's very important for you to keep in, to keep constantly checking on yourself and others as well. You can't be too self-absorbed. You have to, text people. Sorry, I'm going to say it in more
Yeah,
than
yeah.
one word, but uh, you need to text people those matter to you. And this was for a long time my problem. I didn't talk to people just because I was not in mood, but you can't do that. Those people matter to you and you know it. So the moment you know it, you need to text them in 2 3 days, even if you don't like it, because you might not know that they are also going through such things. So keep in check with all your close family and friends, and even yourself, especially in this quarantine. It's really tough. It might not seem like, but it is. And what
Great.
else?
Awesome. So that's it. That's a lot of thing to learn from you, and I am sure all the listeners would also like it. You can reach out to Hetvi on Instagram. I'll basically link her account in the description, and anywhere else people can reach out to you if they need any help.
No, no, I'm only active on Instagram. Text me there. I'll
Sure.
surely reply to you. I might take a while, but I will.
Awesome. Thank you so much
Oh,
for being on Groot Stories, and I'm so grateful for to you to take out time and be here. Thank you so much.
thank you so much, Adi, for having me. It wasn't easy for me to take this step, but you are the person who keeps pushing me into doing things that I want to from inside, but I don't really want to, and you inspire me. So
Yeah.
thank you so much. It was an unreal experience, and I hope everyone out there learned something today.